Hello, good people. How lovely it is to reconnect with you in the new year on our 17th video. I wish everyone a brilliant and productive 2025 as we continue to support every child nurture liquid side, socio-emotional competencies, which will empower them to be all they were created to be. This is the last video in our ongoing series of socio-emotional learning for 6 to 8 years, and today we will focus on helping our children to be 1. More self-reliant, 2. Prudent, and 3. Empathetic. A big thank you to all our viewers. We value you. Special thanks goes to our subscribers. Your valuable support gradually helps us to reach more parents, educators, and caregivers. That said, let's now explore how to support our children develop stronger self-reliance skills. A child who is self-reliant or sufficient demonstrates confidence in themselves and faith in their abilities. They are eager to learn and apply self-care skills, which empowers them to execute various age-appropriate tasks. This is an important life skill because it grooms your child for self-independence in their adulthood. Now, before we dive in, please share with us in the comment section below some of the tasks your child is currently able to do or to carry out. This will greatly enrich our learning experience. Okay, here are some of the tasks that our 6 to 8 years need to master. Be sure to gradually train and coach your child to execute them. They are 1. Brushing their teeth, bathing, ability to choose what to wear for a given occasion, keeping away dirty loudly, washing their hands correctly at critical hand washing times, for example, after using the bathroom, after playing, before handling food, before eating and after eating, after blowing their nose or coughing, before holding their baby brothers or sisters, after school or visiting when they get back home. The next task is helping with tidying up their bedrooms or play areas. Also, helping with making their beds, especially the 7 to 8-year-olds. Next task is clearing the table after a meal. Next one is helping with meal planning and preparation. This would be fun to do with your child in the kitchen. The next one is, especially for the 7 to 8 years, they can prepare simple meals. For example, an egg or a sandwich or any other simple meal that you make in your house. The next task is they can help with house cleaning of the house. For example, sweeping, dusting tables, and other simple chores. And the last one, they can help with cleaning their shoes, for example, wiping their shoes after school and keeping them away where they're supposed to be kept in your house. However, be sure to take time to repeatedly train your child on each task, which will entail patiently performing the task together with your child until they can comfortably do it on their own. It is helpful to make the training fun and playful, as well as assign your child the tasks gradually and progressively. It is also important to hold regular meetings with your child to find out how he or she is faring with the assigned tasks. Remember, every child needs to be trained in a child-friendly manner until they master each task. Assign them a task load that they can manage and always be there to supervise and render support if necessary. To wind up on the tasks that 6 to 8-year-olds are supposed to master, it is important to note that work that denies a child adequate time to play, enjoy quality time with their primary caregivers, go to school or attend to their learning activities, all that which adversely affects their psychological and physical well-being is tantamount to child labor, which is a form of abuse and therefore harmful to your child. The second social-emotional skill that we will explore is prudence and ability to control impulsive behavior. First, let's look at how a prudent child presents. A prudent child embodies a reflective approach to their emotional and behavioral responses. He or she thinks through their choices before taking action or expressing themselves. The opposite of this is impulsive behavior, which children manifest through a reactive response to a trigger experience. A child reacts when they do not take time to think through their experiences and identify how best to handle or manage their emotions. Examples of a reactive response may be verbalizing insensitive words, disobedience, aggression, and truancy. That said, how can we support our children to nurture prudence? Number one, help your child to identify, acknowledge, and take control of their emotions, feelings, thoughts, and behaviors. As discussed in our previous video, support your child to identify and name and manage their emotions. Inability to regulate their emotions may result in acting out. For instance, a child who is unable to manage their anger may take it out on his or her peers or family members. Whenever they are faced with a challenging experience, ask them what they feel and think about the situation facing them. How does this issue affect them? What are they able to do to manage this situation in a way that will work for them without infringing on the rights of others? Ask them what is beyond their control. What is it that they can control and what is it that they cannot control as far as that particular challenge or situation is concerned. Next, ask them what help do they need and from whom to help them tackle the challenge at hand. Help them to answer these questions so that they can come up with a sensible plan of action to deal or address their challenges. Number two, it will be helpful to teach them to track their thoughts and identify the ones that are 1, positive and 2, negative. Encourage them to dwell on positive thoughts and turn negative thoughts into positive ones. For example, Jane may think, I hate my mom or my dad for doing this to me. We need to help Jane to separate the person of the dad or the mom from their behavior and rephrase their thoughts as follows. I feel hurt by what my mom or my dad has done to me. A second example is Peter, who thinks, I can't do this. we need to help him to focus on his strength and rephrase his negative thoughts as follows. This is hard, but with lots of practice and support from my parents or teachers, I will be able to do it. Next, use your children's normal daily experiences to help them see the connection between their emotions, their thoughts, and their behaviors. We'll take an example of Sam and David's experiences. Sam woke up one morning and smiled as he thought about how great and wonderful his day would turn out to be. He rushed out of bed and quickly made his bed and prepared for school. Upon arrival in school, Sam joyfully greeted his teacher and friends and settled in for his lessons. The same day, David woke up with a frown on his face. He thought about the long and tedious day ahead. He thought about how the lessons would be boring and teachers would be unsupportive. He dragged out of bed and took forever to prepare for school. When he was about to leave the house, his mother reminded him that he could not leave without spreading his bed. He grumpily tended to his bed as he thought how unfair his mother was. When he finally arrived in school, the teacher on duty informed him that he was late for school and therefore he would be detained for 30 minutes in the evening. Peter was horrified and worried about his misfortunes in the course of the lessons instead of paying attention to his teachers. His inattentiveness got him into further trouble with various teachers during the day. Now, Sam and David were faced with a similar experience of preparing to go to school. However, their emotions and thoughts were different and yielded different behaviors as well as consequences. Sam demonstrated a positive attitude towards his school experience, which influenced his positive emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Whereas David's situation was opposite. He had a negative attitude that triggered negative emotions, thoughts, and behaviors as well as consequences. The example of Sam and David experiences underscores the need to help our children to reflect on their daily life experiences and identify how a positive attitude leads to positive emotions, positive thoughts, resulting into positive behaviors and consequences. A negative attitude, on the other hand, is likely to trigger negative emotional and behavioral responses as well as consequences. The third socio-emotional skill that we will explore is empathy and friendship formation. A child who is empathetic is able to correctly sense and understand what other people are feeling. They are able to listen to both the verbal and nonverbal communication of others and collectively understand them. As we observed in our previous videos, the first and most effective tip to help our children nurture empathy is role modeling. Remember that you are your child's primary role model. Therefore, they observe and listen to you and emulate the beliefs, the values, the attitudes, and behaviors that you demonstrate towards yourself and others. Therefore, it is important to be intentional in what you say and do, as well as how you relate not only with your child but others, because your child is watching, learning, and internalizing your attitudes, words, and behaviors. It is therefore important to demonstrate respect, kindness, empathy, genuineness, and unconditional acceptance to your child and any other child that you interact with. Also, actively listen to every child so that you're able to understand not only what they say, but also the feelings behind their words. Ensure you check regularly with each child you engage with, just to be sure that you had them right. Help your child or your learner to clarify their values and beliefs, more so those that help them to affirm themselves and appreciate others. Now, let us explore a few tips to support our children nurture liquid socio-emotional skills necessary for friendship formation. 1, we can achieve this by training our children to clarify their values and beliefs, more so the ones that help them to affirm themselves and appreciate others. An example is point out desirable social skills in your children when they demonstrate them. For example, you can say to your child when they are kind to their friends, "It was very kind of you to help out your friend." Another example is you can applaud your child's assertiveness. For example, "I admired your decisiveness and firmness when you said no to your friend's sleepover invitation." Number 2, you can also support your child to hone their social skills through modeling appropriate listening and responding skills, such as active listening, attentiveness, respect, and warmth. So just like we mentioned earlier on, be very intentional when you're relating with other people or your child or your child's friends, so that you demonstrate these effective or appropriate listening and responding skills. Number 3, teach them the social skills you believe they need to develop. For example, help them to practice how to approach new classmates or children in community functions, how to start a conversation, or how to render a hand to a child in need. Number 4, help them to reflect and improve the different relationships that they have. You can do this by creating a safe space for them to discuss those relationships. For example, their relationship with their friends or their peers, with their teachers. Create this safe space at family level and help them to explore what they like and what they don't like about their different relationships. Use your childhood experiences as well as theirs to discuss healthy expectations in their friendship and other relationship that they have. And voila, this brings us to the end of our discussion today. Thank you all so much for being with us. Do share with us both your hacks and pain points in your quest to create socio-emotional learning opportunities for your child or learners in the comment section below. If you find this content useful, kindly share widely in your circles and also like and subscribe. I will see you in our next video. Till then, continue nurturing your socio-emotional competencies and supporting children around you to do the same. Be well and blessings.